Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. So the most important news and editorial of the day that are relevant for the preparation of civil services examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with the news topic list. Today is 27th of January. The first important news, that is Aditya-L1 mission to be launched by June and July. This is what the ISRO has confirmed. Second, India launches world first intranasal COVID-19 vaccine. Third, state falls short of target to improve the forest cover quality. Second last, EPFO plan to review high pension payout sparked the concern. And the last is an editorial from Indian Express, the problem with the collegium. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. And before I begin this session, those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do not forget to press a like button. Starting the session with the first news, that is Aditya-L1 missions to be launched by June and July. Something important for General Studies Paper 3 under the subtopic, that is Achievement of India in Science and Technology, Indianizations of Technology and Development of New Technology. So the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, is planning to launch Aditya-L1 missions by June or July this year, by 2023. This was again delayed. Now the final confirmation coming from the ISRO. Aditya-L1 is a mission as India's first space missions to observe sun and solar corona. So this is the official image released from the ISRO itself. Now something brief about Aditya-L1, which is going to be important for the prelims examination, and for any general competition, a direct question can be framed. Aditya-L1, India's first solar mission spacecraft, will study the nature, the complete part of the sun, the occurrence, natures, and other composition of the sun. Aditya-L1 mission will be launched by ISRO to the L1 orbit. This is India's first Lagrangian point of the Sun-Earth surface. Now L1 orbit, that will allow the Aditya to look into the sun continuously. And Aditya-L1 has been with 7 payloads, of which the primary payload is Visible Emissions Line Chronography, better known as VELC, that is designed and fabricated by the Indian Institute of Astrophysics, Bangalore. And ISRO is developing other 6 payload for other scientific instrument as well. Now, what is the objective of Aditya-L1 mission? How this will function? What is the main rationale behind this mission? So the mission will study and research various aspects which include the sun corona, that is visible and near infrared rays, photosphere, which include the soft and hard X-ray, chromosphere, which is an ultraviolet rays, solar emissions, solar wind and flares, coronal mass ejection, better known as CMEs, and this will conduct the round-the-clock imaging of the sun, and coronal mass ejection, which is CME, a large explosion of plasma and magnified field from the sun coronas. Now, moving to the other news, India's launches world first intranasal COVID-19 vaccine. Something important for General Studies Paper 2 under the subtopic Issues related to development and management of health. So recently, the Union Health Ministry has launched intranasal COVID-19 vaccines in COVID. This is manufactured by Hyderabad-based company. The name of the company is Bharat Biotech International Limited. And this company is better known as Bharat Biotech. The vaccine is expected to be rolled out in private hospital that has placed and offer an advance order for the intranasal vaccines. The pricing of this vaccine will be around 800 rupees per dose in the private hospital. This is what the official confirmation comes. For the large volume of procurement by the state and union government, it will be priced at 325 a doses. If you are incorporating this particular dose at private hospital, this will cost you 800 rupees. And for all the state and union government, the government has agreed to give the dose at 325 rupees. Now, something brief about Incovac. As I told you, this is developed by Bharat Biotech, and Incovac is demonstrated a several level of mucosal IgA antibodies. There are 5 different type of antibodies: IgA, IgG, IgM. Even you can detail it up. I have already discussed this in detail. These things might be relevant for the prelims examination. Now, the mucosal IgA antibodies is an upper respiratory tract, may provide benefit in reducing the infections and transmissions. Now, this utilizes the vector-borne platform, which can easily be updated with emerging variant. We have seen a lot of mutation coming out of the virus. So now this is capable to even update itself with the emerging variants. Incovac will be available at the booster dose only for those individuals who is above 18 years of age and have already got the double dose vaccine, either from the Covaxin or from the COVID side. So once, if you're done with both of the doses, you are eligible to get the nasal intranasal vaccines as well. Now, manufacturing capacity की अगर बात करें, the initial manufacturing capacity of 7 million doses a year has been established for the vaccine, and this can be scaled up to 1 billion doses that will be required. This is developed by Bharat Biotech. It's the world's first intranasal vaccine that will receive the approval, has actually received the approval. Primary 2 doses schedule के बाद ये heterologous booster dose की तरह काम करेंगी for adult, right? Now, it is developed by Bharat Biotech International Limited in collaborations with the Biotechnology Industry Research and Assistance Council, BIRAC. There's a PSU under the Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology. Now, moving to the other news. State falls short of targets to improve the forest cover and quality, something important for General Studies Paper 3 under the subtopic Conservation, Environmental Pollutions, Degradation and EIA. According to the data that was accessed through the Right to Information Act, RTI के through information ली गई है, where the report by the RTI has said that India is lagging behind in its target to increase the number and quality of tree and forest cover that is set under the Green India Mission. I'll tell you more about the Green India Mission. क्या क्या इसके core essence और कौन-कौन से program इसके अंदर आती है. Now, talking about the National Mission for Green India, the National Mission for Green India is one of the 8th mission under the National Action Plan on Climate Change. I'll tell you what are the 8 other missions in the later part of the video. The aim, this particular mission is aimed at protecting, restoring, enhancing India's forest cover to respond to the climate change. And the mission aims to enhance the ecosystem services such as carbon sink. So this is the main rationale to reduce the carbon sink with the overall ecosystem in India. Now it builds upon the Prime Minister Green India campaign for afforestation of 6 million hectares of the national target for increasing the land and area under the forest cover from 23% to 33%. So this was a target that was envisaged under the National Mission for Green India. Now I'll be telling you what are the important missions, 8 missions that is a part of the National Action Plan on Climate Change. So these are the 8 missions. The first mission include the National Solar Mission, the National Mission on Enhanced Energy Efficiency, the National Mission on Sustainable Habitat, the National Mission on Water, National Mission for Sustainable and Himalayan Ecosystem, the National Mission for a Green India, this is what we are discussing, the National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, and the National Mission on Strategic Knowledge for Climate Change, right? So these are the 8 important missions under this. Now, target की अगर बात करें, which was actually there, and even the RTI that was accessed, it says that the target has not yet been met. For 2015-16 to 21-22, the center, based on the submission, has said that 17 states have approved the target for increasing the tree and forest cover by 53,337 hectares, improving the quality of degraded forest. Now, in response to the query that was filed by the Kerala-based RTI campaigner, the Environment Ministry in this merged report has figured it out that the 17th state, noting that tree and forest cover has increased only by 26,287 hectares, and the forest quality improved only to 102096 hectare as on December 31st, 2022. Now, for executing this project, the union government has also given the financial assistance and an allocation of 681 crore rupees, but only 525 crore rupees has been utilized. Among the total allocation, this is the amount that was actually utilized. Now, state with shortfall in the tree covers, the anticipated one, जो target set की गई है और कितनी achievement हुई है, these are the result. The state with a significant shortfall in the tree covers include Andhra Pradesh, which has a target of 186 hectare but only have achieved 75 hectare. Second, followed by Uttarakhand, which was about to get 646,446, that is 6,446 hectare, but has only achieved 1,505. Madhya Pradesh has a target of 5,858 hectares, but has only delivered 188 too. Kerala, again with 1686, has only furnished 616 hectares. Punjab has committed to 629 but has delivered 1082. So the performance of Punjab is comparatively better than all other states. So this data might be relevant for the prelims examination. If you are preparing for any of the state public service commission examination, you can accordingly use the data. Now, forest cover increase की अगर बात करें, as per the Indian State for Forest Report 2021, this is a report which is released by Ministry of Environment and Forest, and this is the most authentic report with regards to the forest cover in India. It says that the forest and tree cover in the country has increased by 2,261 square kilometer since the last assessment that was done in 2019. India's total forest cover and tree cover was 80.9 million hectare, which accounted for 24.62% of the geographical area of the country. The report says that the 17 states and the union territories have more than 33% of the area under the forest cover. Madhya Pradesh has the largest forest cover, which is followed by Arunachal Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and Maharashtra. So the name are again important. A direct question can be framed in the prelims examination also. Now, top 5 state in terms of forest cover, specifically looking into the northeastern part of the country. Percentage wise अगर बात करें, Mizoram has 84.53% of forest cover. The second is backed by Arunachal Pradesh, that is 79.33%. Meghalaya with 76%, Manipur 74.34%, and Nagaland with 73.9%. Right? So these data is accurate and relevant for many other competitive examinations. Now, checking status of the other states. So these are the name of the states that is mentioned, the target that was there, and the achievement that has been made. I have already made a discussion, but these informations via images will help you for the revision purposes. So what you can do, you can take the screenshot, and even you can utilize these data in your mains paper, right? Where you're writing the answer, you can supplement with some important data. Moving to the other news, EPFO plan to review the high pension payout spark the concern, something important for general studies paper 2. Under the subtopic, that is the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from a design and implementations. So a circular was issued by the Employment Provident Fund organization. This organization is better known as EPFO under the Ministry of Labor. is on re-examining cases for the higher pension for those who have retired prior to 2014. Specifically, they have mentioned the date, that is September 1st, 2014, has evoked the concern. Now, among the section of the petitioners that may have lose the benefit have been enjoying for the past years or so. Now, the latest EPFO circular has said that the higher pension should be stopped from the month of January for those who retired without exercising any options under the paragraph 11 subsection 3 of the pre-amended Employee Pension Act of 1955, but were granted pension on the higher wages. So now, after this circular, there will be changes in the payment methodology as well. Now, their pension would now be revised based on the salary ceiling of 5,000 to 6,500. And in support to that, the EPFO has cited certain paragraph to the Supreme Court judgment, which was there in November 2022. Supreme Court has taken the cognizance on the part of the payment of the pension as well. Paragraph 1, subsection 3 deal with the matter with the maximum pensionable salary that can be allowed. And it also talked with an agreement for the employers and employers to give a joint options for allowing the pension fund the remittances of the proportionate proportions of the employer's contribution of the wage higher than the statutory ceiling. The second features of the payment was removed through the amendment to the pension scheme effective on September 1st, 2014. Now, moving to the other part of the advanced notice, the EPFO circular said that before revising the pension entitlement, the advanced notice should be issued to the pensioner so that he or she have an opportunity to prove whether he should avail particular benefits under paragraph 11 subsection 3 of the EPS before the retirement prior to the September 1st, 2014. So this is how things will be calculated. An advance notice has to be there, which will definitely call for the part of the approval from the pensioner as well. And let's see how this is, whether it is welcoming or not, because a lot more trivial issues has to be taking a concern, because the Supreme Court has taken a note and asked for a pension which is appreciating the part of the livelihood options for the individual. Now, something brief that we have discussed, EPFO circular provide the recovery from the pensioner who have been granting higher pension without exercising the relevant options. Some of the sections have include 24,672 pensioner that will be affected. EPFO will seek the explanation for each pensioners before the recovery, and the circular has asked that the EPFO officials to be cautious in identifying the cases of higher pension that has not been granted due to the judicial intervention part. Now, moving to the editorial for the day, that is the problem with the collegium. This is from the Indian Express, something important for General Studies paper 2, under the subtopic of the syllabus, that is structure, organization and function of executive and judiciary. So what I'm going to discuss under this editorial, before the discussion part, the theme of this editorial is the collegium and the challenges. We look into the important issues under the editorial include the background, the basic structure, doctrine, the problem and the power of the judicial review, the big questions on the collegium, and the conclusion part. So India is celebrating 75 years of its independence, right? And the government of India has chosen to celebrate this landmark series of events by a theme called Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Truly, there's much to celebrate about India's 75 years of constitutional democracy, and even it's a pride that India has sustained its constitutional values. The right to vote is a regular election, is an orderly transfer of power after the elections to winning political parties or coalition parties, both at national level and even at the state level. But the point that we are discussing in this editorial is the ongoing debate over the method of the appointment with the higher judiciary, which falls squarely in the rich democracy tradition, because the judiciary is an important part of the overall democratic tradition and the functioning of democracy. Now, background की अगर बात करें पूरी controversy की with regards to the collegium system and NJAC की struck down की बात है, November last year, the Union Law Minister has questioned 2015 Supreme Court judgment, which has held that NJAC, that is National Judicial Appointment Commissions, has been struck down, which impact the constitutional amendment. This was through the constitutional amendment, and upheld that the collegium system of appointment to the higher judiciary. It says that the NJAC violates the basic structure of Indian constitution, which cannot be done via parliament, which is already a case that is there. केशव नंदा भारती judgment है, मैंने आपको काफी बार बताया उसके बारे में. So, citing that judgment, the Supreme Court has categorically said that NJAC is a violation of the basic doctrine of the Indian Constitution. Now, it was swiftly followed by a soft retort from the several judges of the Supreme Court. And this was followed by the intervention by the Vice President recently, where he has questioned the wisdom of the basic structure doctrine that underpinned the 2015 judgment by the Honorable Supreme Court. Now, the basic structure doctrine is a constitutional jurisprudence that evolved over the time, and the process has accumulated under the Kesav Nanda Bharati verdict in 1973. If you have not read it, do check it out. It's a very important part, very much relevant for the prelims and mains examination. Now, it has been reiterated and explained upon the various judgments since then. The central features of the continues to be the view in the parliament, where amendment under Article 368 is not absolute, and it says lays the subject of power of judicial review vested under the Supreme Court, especially under Article 32 and 142, as well as the restriction that is imposed by Article 13 of the Indian Constitution. I have made a discussions to Kesav Nanda Bharati case how the Supreme Court has upheld that the integrity should be there in terms of upholding the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. Now, the power of judicial review is again an important part. The power of judicial review is explicitly established in almost all constitutional democracy around the world. तो ये बाकायदे से establish की गई है, and it has specifically mentioned, the part is already mentioned. Even the basic structure doctrine is now acknowledged by many countries. However, the court in India has added a twist by the tail in 1993 by creating the collegium system of appointment to the high judiciary. So this process started way back in 1993. The process of power of judicial review was essentially for preservation of the basic structure doctrine, and the power of judicial review not be meaningful exercise without an independent judiciary. The collegium system was an essential to preserve the independence of judiciary, and even although presently Supreme Court is also safeguarding the part of collegium system, and there are a lot more controversy which is there. The people or the stakeholders say that the collegium system is not transparent, it is dominated by the judiciary. See, again, it's all a debatable topic. We're not getting into the part of that. As an aspirant, you need to understand the rationale, what is the main objective of collegium system, why the NJCAC was not allowed. तो ये आपको बेसिक्स पता होने चाहिए. You don't need to deep down into any of the controversy which is not relevant for the examination purposes. Now, the big question on the collegium, some of the big question that is being asked in this editorial, whether one of it's against the collegium system. Certain questions are inescapable. तो कौन से questions है? Has the collegium system promoted diversity and inclusion in the higher judiciary? This is the first big question, and all the question that is asked in this editorial is very important, that even you can utilize or write as a note part on a mains paper. Has the transfer been faster in terms of higher judiciary, or it's led to the proportions of vacancies which are there in the judiciary? Has it impacted the pendency of the cases, and the disposable of the time has been reduced in the Supreme Court or in the High Court? How it has helped? The question is that. And has the collegium system been biased against the candidate from the subordinate or judiciary? And has the collegium system done to make justice more affordable, accessible to the common man? These are the bigger questions that need to be put upon before the collegium system and actually functioning of the judiciary. Now, to conclude this part, the basic constitution or the basic question is whether the collegium system is essentially to preserve the basic structure of the constitution, which cannot be answered by the Supreme Court alone through a verdict. द स्टेक होल्डर कंसल्टेशन इज डेफिनेटली रिक्वायर्ड. तो बहुत सारे स्टेक होल्डर्स होंगे जिनकी कंसल्टेशन मैंडेटरी होगी, एंड इवन इफ सजेशंस आर देयर द रिकमेंडेशन हैज टू बी इनकॉर्पोरेटेड. There's no doubt that the credibility of the Supreme Court as a defender of the fundamental freedom and the protector of constitutional value is vested with the Honorable Supreme Court. And after all, along with the judicial review, the separation of power and check and balances are important features of the basic structure of Indian Constitution that is elucidated by the Supreme Court itself. Now, moving to the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday's questions. So for the first question, the correct option is C. For the second question, the correct option is C again. Today, MCQ questions for practice. India Maritime Summit 2021 focuses on upgradations of infrastructure, and India aims to strengthen the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Denmark is a partner country for 3-day visit. So do check it out for the correct option. Second is the Swachh Sharti Fellowship. The Government of India under its Waste to Wealth mission as a part of the Swachh Sharti Fellowship. The Waste to Wealth mission is one of the 9th mission at the Prime Minister Science, Technology and Advisory Council. So these are the questions. There are a lot more other platforms we are providing questions to you. You can check out multiple platforms of ours where you will get to know and practice a lot more questions. So this was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis, followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.